Welcome back to Orange Hat Reviews, everyone. Hope you're all having a wonderful day, night, evening, midday, wherever you are. Hope it's wonderful. So, welcome to episode 4 of the Versus Streams, season 3. We are discussing tonight Klingon versus Predator, the Yautja. And with me, I have the awesome Riot Kitty.
Hello.
I have the sexy goth girl.
Hello.
And a newcomer, Amen Fate. How you doing?
Doing all right.
Alrighty. So, tonight we are doing a Predator versus a Klingon. One-on-one, not an army. So, basically, Klingon's going to be wandering through a jungle, and we're going to see how this fight takes place. Now, I know that sexy goth girl Caroline has a batleth, which is pretty freaking cool.
I got 2.
She has 2. Okay. And so now a little brief info on both. Klingons, they're an honorable species. If you haven't watched Star Trek, they're the ugly ones.
They're the ones with the wrinkled foreheads.
Yeah, they're the ones with the kind of brownish skin and wrinkled foreheads.
I mean, I don't think they're that ugly, but but in Star Trek, yes, but in comparison to Predators, no.
Yeah, I know, right?
One of the more famous ones would be Worf, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Worf would be one of the more famous ones. And they are also a very warrior-like species as well. So when they throw down, they can throw down. They're stronger than humans. They're more durable than humans. They are not ones to really cheat much, but there are some who will actually do that. Now, we also got the ugly motherfuckers called the Yautja, as we all know, the one ugly motherfuckers. The Predators, who have come to Earth, regardless of what the new Predator movie says. They've been on Earth for thousands of years. I'm sticking with that kind of canon. I don't give 2 shits what this pre-colonial Native American 90-pound soaking wet chick is going to do to a Yautja. So
Agreed.
Predator 5 is nothing, in my opinion. So, the species of the Yautja is very honorable in itself. Also, I stick with the canon that they created the xenomorphs, not an android from Earth. They're extremely honor-bound. They do not kill an unarmed or unthreatening prey. They will collect trophies, most likely your skull. They'll also collect your spine too. And what am I hearing?
I don't know. Is that like a baseball game or something?
Sound like a scanner.
Yeah. Somebody have a TV on?
Well, I do, but
what
what I'm hearing is not what's playing on the TV downstairs.
Oh. Okay.
Hold on. There you go. You shouldn't hear it anymore. Sorry about that, guys.
Awesome. Thank you.
Oh, that's okay.
So, the Predators and the Klingons, they both have a mass of different types of hand-to-hand weapons. I think the Predator is far more versatile. I mean, batlets and sword-like weapons, as well as daggers and whatnot for the Klingons, where Predators, you got freaking hey, Soul Assassin, good to see you. For Klingons, you have a lot of hand-to-hands. You got their gauntlet spikes. You got their wrist blades. You have their self-destruct. You have their extendable spears.
Yeah.
Their throwing stars. oh my gosh, pretty much you name it, they got it. And so this is going to be an interesting matchup. Now, as we always start, we're going to start with the ladies first, of who wins without giving why. We'll start with Caroline. Who wins?
I would have to go Klingons.
Okay. Riot?
Predators.
Okay. Amen.
Yeah, you can just call me Fate. Predator.
All right. Fate. So I'm also going to say Predator, because this, I just feel that they might actually edge this one out. So with that being said, Caroline, what is your reasoning behind your choice?
Well, being a Star Trek fanatic like I am, I not only speak Klingon, but have studied their, I know, I'm a dork. They also they have tacticians, and they're very tactical about how they do things. Where the Predator's more running, gunning, going out and, going as fast as he can to get through this. They will be, whereas they have, yes, the stealth shield or the invisible shield. I don't know what the heck they call it.
They're close.
Cloak.
Yeah. The Klingons also, by the way, have cloaks on their ships that they can cover a Klingon with. But they also have taught themselves to blend in with their surroundings as well, so they don't have to use a cloak. And they're very, very fierce warriors.
Interesting. So, Riot, your choice or your reasoning.
Well, if I'm gonna think of something, a race that was just designed to kill, that would be the Predators. They got everything on them. Klingons have spaceships. They could probably get into those spaceships, like blowing it up with a bazooka or something. I don't know. but yeah, basically, like, they're very much designed and bred to hunt and kill. So, although the Klingons definitely are warfaring species, they mostly do their warfaring from a spaceship.
That's fair. Alrighty. Fate.
Yeah, so I chose Predator because while the Klingons are, what's interesting about both these is, like you said, the cloaking technology. They both have cloaking technology. I believe the Predator edges out the Klingons in savagery and one-on-one fighting. If you were to pick a societal battle, I would say that the Klingons would probably wipe the floor with the Predators. Still not knowing what the Predators are capable of on a large scale. I just think 1v1, a Predator is more of a solitary hunter. It's what they do. They've been doing it, like you said, for thousands of years. Where the Klingons achieved warp drive, not far behind humans, or far before humans, right?
As far as I know, they were actually before.
Yeah, a couple hundred years before humans did. So I'm definitely going with the Predator on this one.
Alrighty.
Someone's echo.
Yeah, there's an echo.
Wait, is that better?
Yeah, I don't hear it. Oh, there it is.
Yep, still echoing.
I'll mute myself. Hold on.
Okay.
La, 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 la.
Yep, that was her. Alrighty. As for me, my choice would be exactly what Fate said there and what Riot said. The Predators have been a hunting species for actually not just thousands of years, but for almost close to tens of thousands of years, actually. Right. They're a very ancient species. These things have hunted and they adapt as well. not like the Predator movie from 2018 where they're taking DNA samples and whatnot. No, that was bullshit. And what's his name who directed that movie? You starred in the first movie, you should know better, damn it. You don't pull that stupid shit. But yeah, Shane West, I believe, or Shane something. But anyway,
Yeah.
he should have known better with that. But anyway, I do believe that the Predators, I mean, even if you had like 50 Predators versus 50 Klingons, I honestly believe that that the Predators would edge that one out as well. If the Klingons were to try to invade the Predators' world, oh damn, they would be repelled and they would be slaughtered. Because one thing that gives the Predators an edge, they see in infrared. They can see your body heat, no matter how well you are at blending in with your environment. You better have something to kill your body heat. And one thing I do know about Klingons is they run hot.
Yeah.
They have a higher body temperature than normal humans. Where humans run at normal 98.6, I believe a Klingon's normal body temperature is 101 something. So that would put them at a radical disadvantage, especially if they are trying to hide from a predator.
I just want to piggyback on that. I believe that the Predators actually have a vast array of visions.
Oh yes, they can cycle through different visions.
Vision, cold vision, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
They even have the xenovision where they can actually turn or if they're hunting xenomorphs, they can actually cycle into that vision for specifically seeing xenomorphs, because xenomorphs run very cold.
Yeah.
They actually blend in with their environment very well.
Aren't they like cold-blooded critters? Or
yes, they're acid-blooded critters. Yes, Shane Black. Thank you, Martin. And it's good to see you. So, as for Klingons, if they actually do or if this Klingon was to fight this predator, and this predator would be he would be playing with his prey first. He wouldn't just go in for a kill. He would be testing this predator or this Klingon to see what he's able to take, or see if he's any very worthy. And if the predator actually does get a one-up on or if the Klingon does get a one-up on the predator, this predator will actually do what he has done with...
Don't freeze.
Am I freezing?
Okay.
Not on my end.
No.
I just saw Orange Hat and Goth Girl disappear in the first second.
Oh, that was your internet then.
Maybe.
Because it wasn't mine. I didn't see anybody freeze, but yeah.
Okay, phew.
So if the predator does get hit by the Klingon with a weapon or anything like that, then yes, the predator will actually do what he has done with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and what he has done with, who was it? Or
Danny Glover.
No, that one still maintained his weapons.
Yeah.
But yes, he will or the Wolf did with the Pred Alien. 1v1 Predator wins. Yeah, Marty, I do remember you saying that earlier. On what we don't know is capabilities of their spacecraft. Well, if the Predator movie from 2018 is any indication, their spacecraft do have some interesting capabilities, like shooting a freaking thing that can open up a rift into a whole nother area of space.
Right. I was, I mean, again, we're talking about warp capability for the Klingons a couple hundred years before humans. What did you say? Tens of thousands of years before these predators have been hunting the galaxies and stuff. So They could
Also-
have technology that's been advanced for. We don't really know, right?
Predators do have some very powerful weaponry on their ships. I mean, from AVP and also the AVP game, where they literally blew a ship with just 3 shots, blew an Earth ship completely to pieces.
Right.
So, yeah. But anyway, if the Predator was to disarm and go one-on-one with the Klingon, and the Klingon was all, or because if the Klingon saw a Predator disarm, he would also disarm. He would be like, okay, one-on-one, here we go.
Yeah.
Now, this is where I think that even still, a Predator would edge out in hand-to-hand, because the Predator's strength comparable to a Klingon strength, the Klingon is about 1.8 times stronger than a human. So that's almost twice as strong as an average or your average bodybuilder human, human at peak physical condition. Where, how you doing, JM 2021? Good to see you. Where a Predator is measured at approximately 3 to sometimes even 5 times stronger than a human, depending on which Predator it is. So definitely in the strength capabilities, the weight capability, or its sheer weight, its agility, these things are capable of some pretty freaking amazing feats. How you doing, Craig? Great to see you. Thank you for stopping in. So yeah,
Yeah, like their blades and stuff. They're crazy.
oh yeah, they can. Or also, these things have gone up against some of the universe's most dangerous species, especially alien or xenomorphs and xenomorph queens. These things have gone up against the abominations of their own species mixed with xenomorphs, and they have either died or won over those ones as well. And I'm still wishing
They get off.
Say what? Yeah, they do. This is basically their way of life. They are hunters.
Yeah.
Bat'leth versus myriad non-projectile complement the average Predator carries. Yeah. Well, our Klingons also have phaser-like or weaponry. And if they were if they were also in the jungle, they would still have their hand or their sidearms. They would also still have their
Worf's head.
Yeah, Worf's head on display. Thing is, you're not wrong, Martin.
No.
You're not wrong.
I mean,
I honestly believe that they would do, or that they would. Don't get me wrong, folks. This would actually be a very. How you doing, Master of Fear? It's good to see you. Thank you for stopping in. I believe I haven't had the pleasure of you coming onto into my chat. Thank you.
I mean, think if you have the equivalent of Dutch in the Klingon Empire, who's a survivalist or something like that. Possibly, if we're talking about variables, he could possibly figure out a way to harm or hurt the Predator. But mostly, I think personally that this Predator 1v1 is going to, like my man said, pretty much going to have Worf's head.
Yeah, and it would be one-sided. Honestly, I do believe it would be, but I do believe that the Predator would want to see what the Klingon is made of, and the Klingon may actually surprise it here and there. You know, You never know. There is possible variables that a Predator could exploit, or that a Klingon could exploit to get one up on the Predator. So now we're going to go to how do you guys see this fight going down? We'll start
maybe
with
the teleporting technology that Star Trek has. Beaming.
Yeah, I mean, they could even use that too. Klingons get copied by normal red shirt or capped by normal red shirts. That's like the ultimate insult for Klingons. They're dying by the people who die the most. I agree the Predator takes the fight, even though I don't know much about the Klingons. Oh. let's hear what Caroline has to say. How do you see the fight going down, Caroline?
Well, that's hard to answer for the simple fact of I've watched every episode of Star Trek. I've watched every movie with the Predators in them. Including the Abomination that came out recently. We won't speak of that one. That one does not exist.
That shall not be named.
Yeah.
Yep. And it depends on what kind of forest they're fighting in, quite honestly. And knowing the history of the Klingons like I do, who have been around for a very long time, I'd have to say the Klingon would, there's some parts where the Klingon would probably get some good upper hand if they were fighting on the Klingons' homeworld, which I assume this is where this is taking place. Because they literally are warriors of the land. That is one of the big reasons why I think the Klingon would have the upper hand.
All right. That's an interesting take. Right. How do you see the fight going down?
Well, let's see. You know what? I kind of see it where, like, they go to a planet, right? It doesn't even have to be the Klingons' homeworld. It's like a random planet. You hear, like, foreboding music, and both parties approach in their spaceships and descend down below to hunt and kill each other. Basically, it is how I see this going down. And so, in that regard, I think, the Predators will take that because they're pretty much experts in hunting down and killing people. However, this could also be a space battle too. So I think if it was maybe a space battle, which I don't know if that's likely due to the Predator's nature, then I might have to give it to the Klingons, but unfortunately Predators do take it.
All right. So, Fate, how do you see it going down?
Naturally, we're all kind of like got that creativity in our minds going on, and we always want to fix like brands, IPs. We want to fix what they've done wrong or anything like that. Naturally, what I want to do is like tell a story of a Klingon who actually survives an onslaught of predators hunting him, and he somehow ducks or she ducks and dodges the predator that's hunting him and takes him down. Not unlike maybe like a Dutch or something like that, but I see the Predator completely taking a head here, and probably getting his rocks off on doing this for a Klingon, because Klingons are obviously, very aggressive beings. So this would be, to me, this would be one up from a human.
Mm-hmm. So me, the way I see this is basically there's a patrol of Klingons doing a sweep through some area. And we have one predator who basically is Lawrence Fishburne survived 3 bad bloods, which are for a long time. Which
he got blew up.
To do a segue, yeah, he got blown up by one of the bad bloods when one of the bad bloods finally found him, because the bad bloods are honorless. They're exiled from the Predator or from Predator's homeworld. They're not allowed to go back, otherwise they would be killed. But yeah, the fact that he actually survived against bad bloods is actually a feat in itself.
Yeah.
But as for my scenario, how the Predator. Hold on one moment, folks.
Yeah. So
okay.
All right.
I was just going to ask, did you like that movie? With what was it, Robert Rodriguez, right?
Yes, I actually didn't mind it.
I didn't either.
Because it actually did stick a little bit to the lore of who the Bad Bloods were.
Yeah.
And good to see you, Brightest Day. Thank you for dropping in.
Hi, Brightest Day.
And the way that I see this is the Predator would actually dispatch the, like, say out of 5, he would screw around with 4 of them. He would take one out. A couple hours later, he would take another one out. Same, rinse and repeat until the last one. And then he would just be toying with it. And he would probably get a little clumsy, and this Predator and this Klingon would actually probably hit him with one of his blasters or his sidearm even. Or maybe even hit him by throwing his knife in frustration. Who knows? But then the Predator would come down, wrist blades. Maybe he even has one of the extended wrist blades like in the AVP movie. And he would allow the Klingon to bring out its batleth and take some swipes there. And if the Klingon showed some good metal, he would then drop all weapons, and he would then challenge the Klingon to hand. Now, the Klingon would probably give him a few solid shots. Let's be clear, folks. This is a one-sided battle, in my opinion, but I do believe that the Klingon would actually get in some solid shots on the Predator. Sorry, had to pause tourist track. Pred is just a superior hunter. Yeah. Didn't a Barrow knock out the Trek Klingon guy in the show? Honestly, I do not know.
Which Trek Klingon guy are you talking about?
There's a lot of Trek Klingon guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would need to know more about the episode to tell you if that actually happened or not.
But yeah. So basically the way I see it, now in the unlikely scenario that this Predator or this Klingon does get the upper hand, he says Worf, or Caroline.
I know which episode you're talking about, and yes, it happened one time, but Worf got back up and decapitated him.
Oh, nice.
Sweet.
What the hell is a Barrow anyway? Anyway.
That sounds
It's
like
another species of alien.
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to. I'll send you a picture so you know what you're looking at.
Okay. So, not gonna lie, wanted to see Worf's cod launched, put of an airlock.
Do you mean
Martin? You might want to try saying that again, buddy.
It's like,
Worf's kid launched out of an airlock. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
okay, that
Yeah,
makes
Worf
much
had a
more
son,
sense.
yeah.
I was thinking
I
something
think all of
slightly
us
different.
wanted to see his son launched out of an airlock at least a time or two. He was a little shit.
Yeah. He was a little shit. I've got gloves on. It's okay. Thank you, though. But yeah, so we've only gone for like 30 minutes. Holy shit.
By the way,
This is-
Worf's son's name is Alexander.
Yes.
Yep. I do remember that. And I believe he's also like half human.
His mother was half human, half Klingon, which makes him a quarter human.
Huh. Well, that works. So, yeah, basically, in the unlikely event that the Klingon does actually get a leg up on the Predator, I honestly do not think that the Predator would go self-destruct because, or actually he would, because he wouldn't want any of his technology falling into a Klingon's hands.
Right.
But it would be up to that Klingon to be like, beam me up, somebody, fuck, get me out of here, holy shit.
Yeah,
I really want to see this.
Klingons could easily escape a self-destruct by a predator.
Yeah. But it's definitely, I would actually like to see freaking Star Trek versus Predator, especially the Picard era.
You know, the one thing, and I think it was mentioned earlier by Wright, was the it may not have been right, but I'm sorry if it was the beaming technology. They could definitely capitalize on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's a question. It really doesn't have to do with the main question, but it's question: could a lightsaber deflect a phaser blast? Yes, it's energy colliding with energy.
They're both an energy weapon. The phasers that are in all of Star Trek are a lower yield than a lightsaber.
But yeah, the Borg or species 8472 would be a closer fight between a Predator and a Borg.
Yes, I would have to agree with that. That would be a closer fight.
I mean,
that would be an interesting fight. I'll say that.
What would their heat signature be?
They do not put off a heat signature at all.
Yeah, they're cold. They're dead.
Right. They're like sounds.
What would they do?
The Borgs are basically cybernetically enhanced humans. The Borg will take over a whole entire species of humanoids. Let me rephrase that: humanoids, and assimilate them into their collective, is what it's called.
Yeah.
And they will use the knowledge from the species that they have assimilated to assimilate their collective even further.
I see.
The thing is, Solar Assassin. Hold on. If a Klingon or the ridge-headed xenomorphs, I've always imagined that those were, or that's what they would look like if a facehugger went on a Klingon, is the ridged one from Aliens.
I just picture an xenomorph, just a regular xenomorph, right? But a Klingon's face looking all angry, like.
Couple of caster blasts and they would be immune. Yes, but here's the thing: after a couple of, or after they realize that energy blasts wouldn't be useful, they would use, or can a Borg's shield deflect physical projectiles.
Yes.
So if they
can also change the harmonics of their shields to deflect just about anything. That is why Picard actually literally ran his ship into the Borg cube, because that was the only way that they were going to get through.
Oh, damn.
The thing is with like the Predator's shoulder fired cannon is it's very impactful compared to like say a phaser.
I mean, the thing is, if a Predator realizes that a Borg can adapt, it would have to go, or it would then start playing the stealth game, and it would just go right up behind the damn thing and just start and slice off the damn thing's head.
Well, here's the thing about Borgs. They are very, very slow.
Yes.
They're
Yes,
not very
that's it.
fast moving, where they can adapt and learn and pick up that technology. The Borg are extremely slow. And we're talking like turtles here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is such an excellent crossover topic that you have here, really.
1 second. Now that Martin actually brings that up, please give me 1 second. I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna do something really stupid, so. I'm gonna put a Klingon's face on a Xenomorph's face.
That would be interesting if the Predator got assimilated by the Borg.
Yeah, that would definitely be interesting. Also, would like the Predators be able to stop the assimilation of being assimilated? That would
Yeah. I think the Predators are more of a what? Are they more of a tribe, clan type thing, and the Klingons are more of a house, or like royal houses and bloodlines?
Okay. So now that Marty brought up Locutus,
Yes.
going through all the stuff that we were getting rid of in the house over the last month, I actually came across a very familiar action figure that I had when I was younger. And where's the camera here? This is Locutus. This is Captain Picard as a Borg. Unfortunately, the cables in his head were no longer there. But he even had, he actually also had different arms that you could actually pull off and get or do other ones. I just couldn't find them. So, yeah, this is one of the last remnants of the original Star Trek Next Generation figures that I have.
Hold on to that. That can be worth some money sometime later.
Not with it in the condition that it's in, missing the head cables and whatnot.
I can fix that for you if you need me to.
Huh. Well, maybe. But yeah, I'll definitely hold on to it. It's one of the last things that I have of all the toys that I used to have. But yeah. So what was I talking, or what were you guys talking about when I stepped away?
I was talking about how I love to see the Xenomorph Klingon.
Oh yeah.
That'd be interesting.
Oh yeah, and then talking about whether or not the Predators would stop the
Assimilation.
Yeah.
A Predator?
That depends if they had a Predator already assimilated. If they had a Predator already assimilated, they'd be screwed.
If a Predator got assimilated by the Borg, I'm gonna pause you for a second. If all right, if a Predator got assimilated by the Borg and or other Predators found out about it, they would automatically destroy that Predator, and they would go absolute nuclear on the Borg. They wouldn't even go, or they wouldn't shoot any sort of energy projectiles at the cube. They would just go full-blown destruction mode. They would send in like 1,000 freaking suicide bombs into that damn cube, because they would realize that they would realize that the Predator or that the Borg are too much of a threat.
The one thing you have to understand about the Borg, even if you are cybernetically enhanced, they take out that cybernetically enhancement and put in their own. So if they were trying, even if they tried to make him self-destruct, he wouldn't be able to, because they have already taken out the cybernetics that are already in his body. They've already taken off all of his gear, all of his cybernetics that he already has with him, and have.
No, I'm talking about other ones would do it.
Probably, but literally, they would have to find out because the Borg cubes shields are constantly changing harmonics. They'd have to find the right harmonics at the correct time to even send anything through. You can't transport onto a Borg ship. It is physically impossible unless you know the harmonics.
Mm-hmm. Well, thing is, they wouldn't know, or they don't teleport. They don't transport. The Predators would just launch self-destruct sequences or self-destruct devices into the cube if they could. They would just launch them.
It most likely would bounce off. Their shields are almost indestructible.
Well, we're not talking about Borgs, goddammit. We're talking about Klingons.
It's an interesting crossover with Star Trek in general, right? I mean,
yeah,
it's like Martin said. He said that the Hive would then know all the Predator knowledge. And
yeah. Once they got their hands on a Yacha, they would know everything they needed to about the Yacha.
Yeah.
From inside, it would do damage. Yes, from the inside, it would do damage. And that's basically a veritable, or one of their risk gauntlets is basically a nuke.
Yeah.
It's a low yield thermonuclear device.
Now, interestingly enough, the cyborg, the Borg have actually assimilated Klingons before, and have gained the knowledge from them in tactics. Because if you ever watch a Borg fight, they use a lot of the Borg's, a lot of the Klingon knowledge.
Okay. Well, back to we're gonna start getting to out of 10s with Klingons versus Predators. So, starting with Caroline, how many fights does a Klingon win against a Predator out of 10?
I would say 8 out of 10.
A Klingon beating a Predator 8 times out of 10.
Yes.
Okay. Riot.
Okay. Well, if you look at my profile picture, I made it a comic.
I see that.
Oh, God. That's a Xeno Klingon, folks, for you.
And
Yeah,
that's
it's
war
not-
space.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just with the Klingon head. No. Okay. I would say the Predators take it. I would say 7 wins, 3 losses, because, like I said before, if it's a space battle, I think Klingons would win. Unfortunately, not enough information about Predator ships and craft to do that, but since most likely they will both go down to whatever planet they're on and try to fight each other like the scoundrels they are, they will they will win. The Predators will.
Yeah. All right. So
Yeah, thank you, Soul Assassin. Masterpiece.
Wow, Rick. Yeah. All right. Fate out of 10.
So we're saying out of 10,
You gave it to the Predators. How many fights out of 10 would the Predators win?
I give the Klingon 1.
Yeah. And
There's
yes,
a-
Martin,
there's-
it's 1v1 or 1v1.
Giving the knife.
There is a chance that a Klingon could beat a Predator, but it would have to be like a set of circumstances, variables, and maybe the right Klingon, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Dutch, if you will, or that could just like pull it off and barely survive while the Predator destroys themselves, really,
Yeah.
So
As for me, I would do an 8 out of 10. There are variables that could possibly cause a Klingon to take the upper hand. But as it is, out of 10, I believe that a Predator would take 8 of them. Well, the black wing virus has a hive mind as well. So my thing is, would the black wing virus hive mind overwrite the Borg hive mind, or would it be the other way around? I have no idea.
Is that the red
Knowing
harvest?
what I do know about them, it would be a pretty tough competition between the two. But with the Borg collecting as many species as they have, most likely they would assimilate them.
Interesting. Alrighty. So let me take a look at the poll that I have in the chat, and so that the chat can actually get into the whole voting. And it seems that the Predator wins 75% to 25. So that's a nice even.
Yeah.
That's
Actually, I would put it.
Yeah. The more machine parts to assimilate the internet into their memory, nothing but. Jesus. Yeah, Soul Assassin. Of course you'd go there. Speaking of virus. Yeah. Alrighty, so.
Actually, the Star Trek, the crew of Star Trek Enterprise Next Generation was actually able to introduce a virus into the Borg Collective, which shut them down and forced them to restart, which takes about 4 to 5 hours.
Interesting.
And then they can blow them up with a bazooka.
There you go. But yeah, so that, folks, is going to be the stream. I do got some plans coming up for October streaming. In fact, Halloween will have a special versus stream, which will be Michael Myers versus Jason Voorhees. So it's going to be a Halloween versus stream on Halloween. And we also are in 2 weeks, we have Gypsy Danger from Pacific Rim versus Mechagodzilla from the Monsterverse, the latest Mechagodzilla incarnation.
Ooh.
So it's definitely going to be an interesting one. So definitely set your reminders, because that one will be in 2 weeks from tonight. And I do want to thank all my panelists. So I'm going to give Riot and Ammon Fate a chance to plug their channels and tell us what your stuff is all about, starting with Riot.
Oh, hello. I'm Riot Kitty, person with a horrifying profile picture. So I am a writer and an artist with my own YouTube channel. You know, sometimes I do drawing, sometimes I talk about other stuff like movies or anime, and I also do animated music videos as well. I did just re-upload my Who Did It Better Justice League, where I compare the Justice League theatrical cut to the Snyder Cut version. So I hope you guys all check that out. I am also making my own comic, and I do have a playlist called Dollhouse Development if you'd like to see more of that. So thank you for having me on, Orange Hat, and take it away, Fate.
Thank you. Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I make little bite-sized videos, mostly book reviews right now, and some trailers. I'm just following current events, pop culture. I'm on a show called Nerdwise Thursdays at 4:30 on Astro 93's channel. That's A5TR0_93. You can link to it through my channel. And on weekends, usually on Saturdays, we do a show called The Interface. It's an open forum where we try to find things in common and just talk about it. Mostly nerd culture or pop culture in general. Pretty much try to stay away from politics. If we do have anything to say, it's more general. And that's about it.
Alrighty. And Soul Assassin, please get their links out, which you already did. Thank you very much.
Yes, 2 steps ahead of you.
Yes, yes. Goth Girl, I do want to thank you for joining us as well.
Well, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So also, folks, stay tuned for next Wednesday when I have my next, or possibly will have my next mystery review. The hints are John Travolta and Mrs. Jones. If you know the right answer, do not put it in the chat, please. Just DM me if you know the right answer. Also, we are coming to a close in the Terminator discussion streams because next Friday will be the Dark Fate stream, and 2 Fridays after that will be a special Terminator stream where me and the panel will be discussing how we would do a sequel to Terminator 2. So thank you all for tuning in. I'm not that cool. I just know. Oh my God, Orange Hat, since he was a 6-year-old booger eater. Oh, thank you, Marty. Thank you for letting everyone know that. But yes, thank you all for tuning in. And this was a good night. I really did enjoy talking this out with everyone. In 2 weeks, I've already said what we're doing in 2 weeks, I believe. It is Gypsy Danger, and Mongo Big Thinks will be joining me, I hope, for that one. So, yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. And Soul Assassin, she does not have an active channel. She doesn't do any content, I do not believe.
No, I do not have an active channel. I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do for one, so.
But yeah. Thank you all for tuning in. And Marty's doing the dab in the chat. Always funny. So, yeah. Have a wonderful night. Also, folks, do not forget to tune in to the Full Aussie tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. I believe they will have their stream going up at that time. So you all have a wonderful night, evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is. Hope it's wonderful. And thank you all for tuning in. And always remember to stay humble.